Hello, a very good afternoon to you. I'm in the van and the clock's wrong, so it's just thrown me off. But it is 1 o'clock. It's Monday, and I thought I'd jump on here and say hello. So hello, this is me on my Monday morning. The sun is still shining, which is wonderful, and I'm in the van working. But it's not too bad, is it? The big news this morning, though, is what happened first thing last night, which was a little bit crazy. I don't know if you're a fan of the Oscars or whether you're a fan of comedians or actors, but there was definitely an altercation last night, and I don't know how I feel about it, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's just not right, is it? Like, it's even made the Welsh news, for goodness sake. It's Tom in a van. Yes, it is. It is me in a van doing my rounds today, because this is not my car. I am in the van today, but all is well. But how was your weekend? I had quite an eventful weekend, which saw me on the M4, saw me at a karaoke. What else did I do? I'm trying to think. My mind's gone blank. It always does this. I'm the worst person to come in on a Monday morning and be like, oh, did you have a good weekend? Yeah, I think it was all right. I can't remember what I did. And I can't. I can never remember what I did on a weekend. But I know it was good fun. It was a late night Saturday. Good rehearsal yesterday. That's for a play that's coming to Penarth at the end of April. I'm in something in 2 weeks' time as well in Haverfordwest. Looking forward to that. And also, what on earth? Saturday. It'll come back to me. It'll come flooding back to me and I'll be all embarrassed. But it's not yet. I don't want to look at my calendar, because that would be dangerous. But hey ho, we're going back to last night. The Oscars were on, and I have expressed my love and admiration for a particular actor. I've not long finished his book, and it was, of course, Will Smith, which Helen's on there. People say it was staged. Oh. And in fact, Helen making the point, which I'm about to talk about here on more detail. Will Smith is a huge role model. Let's put that on there so you can all see it. Huge role model for so many people. He needs to be careful how he conducts himself. Actions have consequences. Yes, they do. And I've been saying that for many a time now, because talking about activate your life, we've all got the choice to do bits and pieces. We've all got the choice to do whatever we want. And we do. I genuinely believe that we all have the choice to do whatever we want. But in this day and age and in this society, what we do is going to have implications and ramifications. And that's where you got to balance up. And if you're not careful, sometimes your actions are going to see you in a whole heap of trouble. It's why we have the legal system and the penal system and jail and community orders and stuff, is that not all our actions are going to be enjoyed by everybody. And if it was staged, like tasteless joke from Chris Rock in the first place, making fun of alopecia, we don't need that. Gail Porter is probably Matt Lucas, Gail Porter, other such celebrity types that have alopecia, hair loss. And it was Willow, it was Jada's daughter actually, that convinced her to finally just shave it all off. Her hair was coming out, and Willow, of I whip my hair back and forth fame, has shaved her hair in the past. Sure that you're coming on the right microphone. Yeah, fine. We're fine. And reading Will's book, actually, he talks about when Willow did her like European and world tour and stuff, she supported Justin Bieber on tour as well. And she had that one album, I'll whip my hair back and forth. And she finished the tour, or like a leg of the tour, and Will was like, oh, you got the next bit coming up soon. And she was like, no, I'm done. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, you've got the tour to finish. And he woke up the next day and she came in for breakfast and she had literally shaved her hair off, completely off. So there was no more whipping her hair back and forth from that point on. And in fact, if you listen to her recent music, It's far more rocky. And one thing I didn't appreciate is Jada Pinkett Smith, used to be in like a heavy, like death metal band. Who knew? So she was in a big, heavy death metal band. She's even played Download Festival opposite the likes of Ozzy Osbourne and the like. And Transparent Soul was the last Will Smith song that I heard. And you can definitely see that there is some rocky undertones and some distorted guitar in there. So it was Willow that convinced Jada to shave her hair off, which she did. And let's be honest, she looks amazing. She looks absolutely fantastic. She was there in a green dress last night with a big flowing train on there as well, looking amazing. And there's TikToks and videos of them getting ready for the do, just looking really smart. And Chris Rock makes a joke about Jada, calling her the next G.I. Jane, a take on G.I. Joe. What to be a weird action man? Action man, the greatest hero of them all. And Will Smith was originally laughing at this, and then out of nowhere he starts walking up. And Chris Rock is like, uh-oh, like something's going to happen. What's he going to do? What's he going to say? And he gives him this short little, it was staged. I don't really want violence being used for comedy effect and to show the growth of someone. And particularly as someone that's just finished reading his book, where he talks a lot about his dad and Daddy-O, as he affectionately calls him. So Daddy-O used to essentially beat up his mum a lot when he was growing up. You know, it came to a head one time, and then all of a sudden, from my reading and my perspective, is that he doesn't want to end up like his dad. And yet what he's done is he's gone to the Oscars, one of the biggest events there is, and has decided that it's okay to go out and about and give someone a right-handed slap for a joke. And if it is for stage and it's comedy, if it's for ratings, someone like Will Smith, as Helen says, who has got this brand image, and in fact, like since this has happened, I think back at the songs that he's released, and he's got a song called "Mr. Nice Guy." You need to have a listen to that. You need to have a read of that and see what's what. There you go, it's a bit better. And I don't really like the thought of staging a punch to Chris Rock. Like Chris Rock, who is a very funny man, Marty from Madagascar, and just generally really funny one. Like his stand-ups are one of the funniest that there is, I think. And Will Smith, like living legend, getting jiggy with it, all of that stuff. And for someone like myself, who, like Will Smith had his dad around, so he had that as an anti-role model, as it were. He had things to learn that through not experiencing it, which is, you know, fair enough. That's his life. But for others that don't have those father figures, you look to kind of fake ones, or just to other role models. And what you don't want to see is those role models that you've picked going up and swiping someone in the middle of an international awards ceremony. Sam Clements, shocking. I completely agree. It is shocking. And it just makes you think, like, I've held him up in such high regard for such a long time. And I still do, to an extent. But it's just kind of like, oh, I don't know. Well, like, what are your thoughts? Like, I just don't understand. Anne-Marie agreeing with Sam. Shocking. They should know better, and they should know better. And it's just kind of like you build these images up of people, and it's kind of like reminds me of the phrase that you should never meet your heroes. And what a lot of people are saying is that, oh, you've seen the real Will Smith now, and because he has been getting grittier in the last kind of 10, 15 years, I suppose. So we've now seen the real Will Smith, the dogged one that wants success and whatnot. And he did at the expense of his family. He even says in the book that his family hated him. Like his son didn't actually file for it, but it said that he was going to get, what was it? It's like divorced from the family kind of thing. So there's definitely not been some great things going on in the household. But even like that public persona has just been dashed. And of course, there's this new Grittier Bel Air coming out as well. And he did go on and win. Spoilers if you didn't know that already. But he did go on and win for his portrayal of King Richard. And King Richard, the father of Venus and Serena Williams, the tennis stars. And it's Will's first ever Best Actor Oscar win. He's been nominated before for Pursuit of Happiness, and I think he got a nomination for playing Ali as well in Muhammad Ali. I've seen a few jokes about he played Ali. Why is he not knocking him down? Don't care for that. And then in his speech, he apologised to the Academy, and he apologised to the other nominees and whatnot. But he didn't actually apologise to Chris Rock, who he'd actually punched. And you'd like to think, in the heat of the moment and with the adrenaline wearing off, that you'd think that there's something that can be done here. He's a grown man. And in fact, Twitter today, do you remember the program One Foot in the Grave with Victor Meldrew? I don't believe it. That program. Well, Will Smith is that age right now when Victor Meldrew was that age. I know. I can't believe it. This is one of the best Twitter feeds that's out there at the moment. All these people that are growing up to be the same age as the grumpy old man, Victor Meldrew. And it makes me smile a lot. So Will Smith is that age, and someone said he obviously didn't appreciate now being a grumpy old man, or he's just completely stepping into that persona. And I'm liking Sam's take here, actually. I'm going to put that on there. And but yeah, he didn't apologize to Chris. And in recent years, like more recent than I care to realize, I was put in a situation where you think, oh, are you going to stand for that? What are we going to do about it? And like growing up in school, if someone annoyed me, like I had bad spots and stuff like that, and I used to always get in fights in school, but you grow out of it. And you don't expect Will Smith, the person who's been sharing light and virtue, as his acceptance speech said, to be smacking someone. Vicky Williams, PR teams from both sides will be working overtime. You betcha they will. You betcha. I'm like, how does he come back from it without actually confronting the issue properly and blaming it on being King Richard and protecting others? When, as someone just said on the radio, he could have done it from his chair. Jane Fonda said, it was like, usually you'd heckle. I don't want to be heckled and be punched in the face. No, thanks. Sam Clements makes the point, so maybe tensions are rising high at the moment with all that's going on in the world. It gets to you. People can only take so much, I guess, but still not great. And you know what? I completely agree with that. The only thing which I can relate to is what I've been through. And when I was going through what I was going through, which wasn't great, I didn't punch anyone. And I spent 2 nights sleeping in my car. So there is an element of self-control. And if there is something going on, I hope he seeks help. Because if you're in that situation where you are a global megastar and you get frustrated to the extent of one little joke, it just, I don't know, as someone that's looked up to him, it just makes me think, it makes me feel a bit chuffed, actually. I can brag. I've got better self-control than Will Smith. I'll take that. But yeah, so I was curious then about people and role models. And so I was going back to some quotes, actually. So never meet your heroes because you actually see who they actually are. And then the one that Denzel gave him, I saw a video during the ad breaks, because I forgot that the Oscars thing is a big old ad money spinner. But people get up and they chat during the ad breaks. They've all got like 5 minutes between songs and they're all up and they're all chatting. And this voice of God comes over and he was like, we've got 30 seconds. If you could clear the front area, 30 seconds, clear the front area, 20 seconds. And someone counts them down to clear off. So that's really weird. It's like American football, though. There's a red light. But Denzel called him and he was like, so you got to be careful at the top because that's when the devil gets you. And like Will Smith has wanted this Oscar for so long. And reading his book, you see his trajectory about films that they turned down and films that they wanted, films that they were offered, and thinking which films they were going to actually get. And they turned down, like way back when DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince were a thing, they turned down a massive blockbuster, well, not blockbuster as such, but big budget. Let's put it that way, big budget, because it wasn't the right brand image. And I suppose a long time has passed since then. Let's be honest, we're talking 30 years. Wow, 30 years. But yeah, he's got his Oscars. Sorry, he's got an Oscar now. He's got his Grammys. He was the first ever rap artist to win a rap Grammy. He boycotted that though because they didn't film it. So I suppose that he has been showing opinions in the past as well, hasn't he? But yeah, Denzel making that point. Never meet your heroes. And I've been watching Spider-Man recently, and with power comes responsibility, and it's true. And what storming up, like marching up to someone and just giving them a swipe, and then just casually going back to your chair. I don't know. I really don't know. The next time someone annoys me, like I'm a bit older, I'm not going to do it. But if you're someone that looks up to Will Smith and you think back to his recent films, and even if you go back and watch Independence Day, Men in Black, where he's the cheeky chappy, you can't do that. You just can't do it. So I'm at a quandary now. Well, I'm not, because I'm not going to do it. But it's kind of like, I've just finished reading his book. I watched his Snapchat series during lockdown. I've seen pretty much all of his films. And I don't know, because he's protecting his woman. So PR teams working both sides. I wonder, if you're Chris Rock's PR team, what angle are you going to take on it? Like, he was calm from the tiny clip I've seen. I haven't seen any of what he did after, like the next link, as it were. I didn't see that, but I saw him in the aftermath, and he was like, "Oh, okay, and we're here to celebrate." And he just kind of carried on, and which is great. And that, for me, is, I think, the best thing to do. You just got to carry on. I really do think that. Sam Clements, I remember getting slapped once in Cardigan. Was it like a proper slap? I remember getting punched in Swansea on a night out, and I think the guy thought that he was going to knock me to the floor. And one thing I will say about myself, talking about Will Smith and the fact that he was protecting his woman, is that, yeah, I wouldn't go out actively looking for a fight, but also don't mess with me because I could take a hit if you ever needed to. But I remember getting punched in Swansea, just kind of looking around. He cut me right on the side of the face, and it was in the old. In fact, is it still there? It was Play when I was there, and yeah, just having a good time. Someone whacked me in the side of the face. I think it was a case of mistaken identity. I'll put it that. I just remember looking at him and just shrugging, laughing in his face, and walking off. It's the best way. He's got no comeback. I didn't fall to the floor, and I get on to enjoy the rest of my night, which is perfect. If you're gonna enjoy yourself, don't let the drama get you down. And if someone is making a joke, you can see in the clip whilst he's making the joke that Will's laughing. Jada's not so chuffed about it. Like, this alopecia diagnosis and the shaving of the head is still quite recent. So yeah, tasteless, bad timing, overreacted. So, but yeah, if you look over and your wife, your girlfriend, your partner, your friends, whoever's being bullied, yes, stand up for them. And I'm a big fan of that. And there's been wonderful stories and videos of, well, it's not wonderful because there's really racist and homophobic crap happening all the time on YouTube videos of people on the tube, and people standing between other people and saying, yeah, get off this carriage. Like, this shouldn't be happening anyway. But what hasn't been happening is there hasn't been people striking back in response. And that's what blows my mind in all this. Yes, it hit. So it was a big slap. And that doesn't surprise me with Swansea. Yeah, if you're going to go out in Swansea, I found out anyway, go out on the uni nights, not the weekend, because on the weekend, all the all the Valleys boys come down, and they don't care about no law students. But yeah, that was kind of the main thing I wanted to talk about today, because it's kind of shaking me a little bit, and I haven't really known how to process it. So I thought I'm just going to talk about it, because what do you do? What do you do? And then he won. It reminds me of when Boris Johnson got Prime Minister. It's like, yeah, I'm really pleased that someone's got what they've worked their whole life towards. but I wish it was someone else. And then you got Will Smith, who I'm really pleased has won something, but I would have rather it not been marred by him punching someone else, which is fair enough. Sam, well, I'm from Swansea. Was it you, Sam? Was it you, Sam, coming in swinging your fist? I knew that I knew there'd be a chip up here. Nothing wrong with Swansea. Am I still there? Am I still live? I don't know what's been going on. I'm from Swansea, so I don't know if you heard anything that what I've just said, but my screen turned off. But never mind. I was talking about choirs for good. My little fledgling choir, less than a month old, have already sang in a different language, and I'll be sharing that on my page